Welcome back to NK Unfolds, the podcast where we dive deep into some of the most powerful books and stories out there. Today we're talking about one of the most heart-wrenching, beautifully written novels of recent years, Kristin Hannah's The Nightingale. Trust me, if you haven't read this yet, grab a cup of tea, because we're about to take a long, emotional journey through this masterpiece. All right, let's set the scene. The Nightingale is a historical fiction novel set during World War II, and it primarily follows two sisters, Vianne and Isabelle, living in Nazi-occupied France. The story unfolds from the 1930s to the post-war period, capturing the immense sacrifices, pain, and heroism that the characters experience amidst the horrors of war. And if you've ever wondered about the unsung heroines of history, this book will take you on a ride that's both heartbreaking and uplifting. Vianne Mauriac, the older sister, starts off as someone who just wants to keep her family safe and maintain a semblance of normalcy. She's married to Antoine, who's drafted into the army early on in the war. Vianne is left behind to care for their daughter, Sophie, in their small town of Carrevaux. Her world is flipped upside down when the German soldiers invade and take over her home. With the constant fear of her daughter being harmed, Vianne is forced to make tough decisions that challenge her moral compass. Then there's Isabelle Rossignol, the younger, more rebellious sister. She's everything Vianne isn't: headstrong, passionate, and determined to fight back against the Nazis. Isabelle's journey is incredibly intense as she becomes involved in the French resistance, risking her life to smuggle downed Allied airmen across the border to safety. She's relentless in her pursuit of resistance, which sets her apart as a central figure of courage in the narrative. As the war progresses, their lives intertwine in ways that they never expected. The novel explores not only the external battles of the war, but the internal battles each sister faces. Vianne struggles with surviving under German rule, while Isabelle is consumed by her desire to fight. These characters embody two different kinds of strength: Vianne, the quiet, enduring kind, and Isabelle, the loud, defiant force. One of the most remarkable aspects of The Nightingale is the emotional depth with which Hannah portrays these sisters. You see them struggle, make mistakes, forgive, and ultimately find redemption in ways that feel raw and real. It's a tale of sacrifice, survival, love, and the heavy cost of war. The pacing of the novel is also noteworthy. It moves seamlessly between the past and the present, with a narrative that keeps you on the edge of your seat while also allowing time for reflection. The contrast between the wartime storylines and the post-war aftermath gives the novel a poignant sense of depth. But what really hits home about The Nightingale is its portrayal of the women's roles during the war. It's easy to forget how much the women in occupied France did to resist the Nazi regime, and Hannah brings that history to the forefront. Vianne and Isabelle's experiences show the different ways women fought, not just on the front lines, but in their homes, in their hearts, and through their bravery in the face of unspeakable odds. Now let's talk about the impact of this book. Kristin Hannah's writing is poetic and immersive, often transporting you to the world of 1940s France. Her attention to historical detail is impressive. Each scene is painted with rich imagery, and you can feel the tension in the air, the fear, the longing, and even the beauty in moments of grief. It's the kind of book that you read and feel like you've lived through the war with these characters. It's deeply emotional, and by the end of the novel, you may find yourself utterly changed. Now let's get into the review portion of today's podcast. If I had to sum up The Nightingale in one word, it would be unforgettable. It's a tale of resilience, love, and hope in the face of unimaginable darkness. What makes this novel stand out from other World War II books is the emotional investment it asks from the reader. The stakes are high, the emotions are real, and the characters, especially the sisters, are some of the most compelling I've read in a long time. It's a book that will make you think, cry, and perhaps even change the way you view history and humanity. But, with all that said, it's not for everyone. If you're not into heavy emotional reads or stories that pull on your heartstrings, this might be a tough one to get through. It's an intense, gut-wrenching journey that doesn't shy away from hard truths. But if you're up for it, this is one of those novels that will stay with you long after you've turned the final page. In conclusion, if you're looking for a historical novel that will completely immerse you in its world, The Nightingale is a must-read. It's heart-wrenching, powerful, and a testament to the strength of women during one of the darkest periods in history. Definitely grab this book and be prepared for a reading experience that will make you feel all the things. All right, that wraps up today's episode of NK Unfolds. If you enjoyed this review, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share it with your friends. And of course, I'd love to hear your thoughts on the Nightingale. Did it move you as much as it moved me? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you in the next episode. Take care and keep reading.